Okay, so I've seen this one added a few times. Never really seems to get released. So I know I've made one before, very briefly, but I'm going to make a better one. I thought I like the clean style. So I'll give it a go. It's fairly easy to set up. Most of the things are going to be pretty self-explanatory, but actually let's just launch first. Okay, so if I press I, you can see what it is already. It's an inventory screen. So I've given you an option to move it, so you can use this little square up here to move it around. Obviously, while you're in the mode, you can't use the mouse to look around. So you can still move. There's no weapons, it will take your weapon away. So I'm just going to close it and look around. So I'm going to pick things up, standard pickup, and I go into the inventory. You can still move around and pick stuff up, of course, and you'll see it goes in to the boxes. If I move something over, it will add the new one over there. Maybe that wasn't quite so clear. Let's do it this way. So there we go, that's that one. You can swap things around, and if you drag something out, it'll appear. For some reason, the collision is not working. I'm not sure why. I have turned it on, but there we go, it just doesn't want to work. So that's that. Now you might think this is good, but if you want a bigger inventory, you're going to have to, whoops, you're going to have the whole screen sort of taken up. So what we've done is we've given you a little extra bag over here, so you can see now you have multiple pages. Well, just an extra one for now. And then of course anything you pick up still goes on page 1. So even if you have the page 2 open, it will still be page 1. There's no way to swap between pages at the moment, unfortunately. It's a bit too confusing to set that up and sort of make it easier and intuitive, so I just figure filling out the first page first is fine. Of course we can keep doing so. Pick everything up. So there we go, we get all this filled up nicely now. And then of course you think, well, what good is it in here if it's, you know, going to be used in the inventory? That's great, but I want to be able to use it. So if you right click, you can use your actual items. We can pick up the ammo. So here I collected the gun, and then when you close the inventory, the gun will come out. And then of course when you go back into the inventory, the gun will go away. So you can see I've got 6 of 4 bullets right now. Click on this, 6 of 14. So it's all working fine. You can see my health goes up. Rupees. Click kill a gun. The Uzi. Click a few of these. Yeah, it doesn't remember the last gun, unfortunately. I could probably add that in, but didn't get a chance at the time. So that's everything I've put down. Of course, you can't drop the guns you've equipped or anything. But it's a shame the collision is not working, otherwise these would fall to the ground and sort of stack up on top of each other, but it doesn't seem to want to do that. So yeah, that's the basic script. I'm going to show you how to actually assign things now. So for the bag, it's literally just giving it the correct script, so it's just called extra inv bag.lua, and that's it basically. You probably want to rename it because there is a little prompt that comes up when you get near it, but otherwise it's fine. And then literally all that is doing is pretty much just adding this little function here. It's a very short script for that one. Everything else apart from the weapons works on their general script. All you have to do is change over, so for like the ammo, you just change over the script to inventory pickup.lua, and then it will automatically switch over to the adding ammo script when you actually right click on them to use them in the inventory. So you don't need to worry about that, but the weapon unfortunately doesn't work with the default weapon script, so there is a slight difference. You still assign the same script to the weapons, you just need to make sure that you also have my version of the weapon pickup script as well. But for weapons you still assign inventory _pickup.lua. The only thing to that will need to be done for pickups is that you need to put somewhere in the name what they actually are, so the script later on can tell what it's supposed to do with these items when you try to use them. So for instance, I put weapon in brackets for weapons and ammo in brackets for the ammos. So you can see it's like magnum ammo, and then for health it has to have med in it in the name somewhere, so you can either just put, these are like default into med box, but you could just put in brackets medical and that would be fine, and then it would know that you want to add health when you actually use those. And then of course for the actual inventory script you need to just assign inventory.lua to an always active object somewhere on your map so that you can always access your inventory. I think that's it. I still need to add keys, but other than that I think there's pretty much everything that you can interact with in Game Guru. I'm not sure there's anything else I need to add, but obviously if you think of anything then let me know. Obviously I'm not going to be doing like loads of complex scripts that don't exist. It's going to be things like that are already here. So we've got the basics, we've got health, ammo and weapons, and as I say I'll add keys before I release it. Won't take 5 seconds. And I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? So we should be good. And of course you can have as many pages as you like, or you can just have one, and there are options to change whether you want the inventory to be like a certain size, where you want it to start. You can have it fixed in position. If you don't want the user to be able to move it around, that's perfectly fine. If you only want one page, then obviously you just set one page and then don't add any like bags to pick up, and then you'll just have the one. If you want to start with multiple pages, that's fine too. You can just set that here. So that's fine. You can have the actual boxes, or you can have like different sizes if you want longer items. They're all going to be the same, so you can't have like a shotgun taking up 2 spaces. Unfortunately it's going to have to be 1 slot per item, but you could possibly get around that by making it in parts or something, I don't know. But you can sort of rearrange the sizes. It's a little bit funky if you get too small. Seems to be an issue with the way Game Guru handles swapping like values to percentages. For some reason it works fine for everything else, but for some reason if I go really low in certain dimensions it just goes wrong. The boxes start to overlap, but for a normal inventory you're not going to have like 4 squares anyway, it should be fine. So you can see here I've resized the boxes. I mean it looks kind of ridiculous now, but if you wanted to you can do that, and it will resize the sprites automatically as well, so you can have them all on there. Or if you wanted to go the other way, do something like that. As I say, you can also change how many slots there are, so at the moment it's 5 by 5, and again this may cause issues. I'm not entirely sure, so perhaps we'll just do something like 8 by 10, see what happens. Okay, yeah, you can see we've got some issue here where I can't actually select it currently because to move it because it's too high up. That's because I put it in the top of the screen there, but we can move it around. I've added a little bit of code there so you can move it around where it starts. Okay, there we go. Oh, I still can't get it. It's too far over. Made it too big. Let's just move this down a little bit. Too many slots, I think. There we go. That's better. So yeah, you can see it's sort of slightly overlapping here because the calculations are slightly wrong. It doesn't seem to like floating numbers for some reason, but there we go. Whatever, it works well enough. But yeah, like I say, you can switch off moving with this. Just put this to 1. Can't move it around. If you wanted it to start in the top corner, then obviously you can just use this value and remove these down here, but I prefer being able to move it around and have it in a sort of decent place. But once you're happy with your inventory, it's fine. You can adjust the gaps in between as well, so you can do that here. Just put this back to 5 by 5, and that as well. Can be 5 by 5. But yeah, you can adjust the gaps in between the actual items as well there. So we made them ever so slightly bigger gaps, like so. And you can see the because I've selected not to be able to move it, the box up here has disappeared. So you can't actually click that and move it around anymore. So if you wanted your inventory to always be in the top corner or something, then you can do that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And as I say, if you want to drop stuff, you can just drag it out and it'll appear in front of the player. Just turn around and drop it out. And of course they can just pick stuff back up if they accidentally drop it. And it won't drop if you like accidentally just click in the middle there. It may take a little while to work out where it's supposed to go, but it will eventually put it in. It's only if you literally drop it out of the entire inventory.